The South was separated into two main groups. There was the Upper South, which relied less on slavery and included Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Arkansas. The Lower South included South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. Both were part of the Old South, which is characterized by slavery. Social characteristics. By the 1850s, many Southerners had moved west, but those left were pressured to produce enough cotton for the growing British textile industry. Slavery was essential to harvest this cotton, which was found mainly in the southern area known as King Cotton. Slave codes were instated for each state, and some included rules such as special curfews for the slaves and the inability of African Americans to serve jury duty or testify against a white citizen. As a result, in 1800, there was a significantly less amount of free African Americans in the southern states as compared to those in the north. In 1820, Maine was admitted as a free state, while Missouri was admitted as a slave state in the Missouri Compromise. This also prohibited slavery in the Louisiana Purchase, north of the southern boundary of Mississippi. Starting in the 1790s, tobacco was losing its importance due to its destruction of fertile soil. The cotton gin and McCormick reaper were invented to increase the speed of harvesting and cleaning the cotton to sell. Tariffs were instated by Andrew Jackson in 1828, which did not favor the southern industries because they had to pay more for manufactured goods. This decreased any popularity made for Jackson that he may have gained after the Indian Removal Act of 1830. In 1833, Jackson lessened tariffs with the olive branch and sword laws. Because of both political and economic characteristics in the South, both positive and negative effects were created. Cotton and the different technologies that came out of it boosted work money coming into the states. When Jackson decided to lay tariffs on the states, the money from the cotton was pretty much going right to the government, and no one was pleased. The federal government was abusing its power, and Vice President Calhoun even believed that the states had limited powers that were very specific. He also influenced Congress by convincing them that the tariffs were constitutional, even though Congress could decide otherwise. Since cotton was becoming a large industry, slaves were still needed, and the slave codes were put into place. In the end, the South ended up pro-slavery, opposing tariffs, for the removal of Native Americans, and for legislature that favored farmers.